many of the guys, many of the people who watches the channel, they studied music, so they see music many times as a mystery.
Me too.
Good to know. So it feels close to the people. I mean, we all endure the same pain, right? And that mystery will never end. Is it right?
Sure. That's definitely for sure.
Like some people, they think of jazz as a complex thing. But the great jazz players like you guys, they do it very natural. And many times when I talk to jazz musicians about, oh, should I practice scales or harmony? Should I separate the individual aspects of that music? But they always come to me and say, no, just feel the music and play it. But then someone throws a weird harmony and I'm there all lost.
Personally, I think people that just say you should just play it, most people, there's some that are just, I guess, just gifted beyond belief and just pick up an instrument and all of a sudden within a week they play their asses off. I've never met anybody like that, ever. You know, including Miles, who used to say, do the music, but Dave Liebman said, you know, early on in Miles, he was studying like everybody else and writing down things on little matchboxes and, you know, wherever he could write down little notes about this scale and this harmony. And he told me that first time he saw a Bird's changes for a blues, you know, with the extra changes, you know.
Sipping at bells.
What happened?
He freaked out. He said, what the fuck? You know, he said, what is this? He said it messed him up. He had to, everybody had to practice it. It was different. It was new then. Same with Train when he came along with his harmony. But for me, anyway, coming from more blues and rock at first, especially blues, and listening to a lot of Motown records, you know, and when I grew up in Washington, D.C. Jazz was just a challenge at first, so I had to learn the vocabulary like you learn any other language. And I got to a certain point and then realized it's forever, it never ends, you know, there's so many, it's a huge universe, forever and never, but at least you get to a point where you can function, kind of, you know what I mean, and play, hopefully, your heart, which is what music is about. Eventually, but you can't do it. I couldn't do it at first for a few years, not with that. I could sneak in some blues licks and it felt right, but if I was trying to play a bebop solo or a jazz solo on a standard tune, it took a while before I got more comfortable with the harmony and then not even have to think the changes, but just kind of hear the melodies at this point, you know, that work over those chords. But you know, it's that's the way it is, I think, for me anyway, and most people that learn the language. But after a while, it's like Bob was saying today in class, when we had a session today, a workshop. He was saying it's from the heart. You gotta play from the heart. And you can't be scared of it so much that you give up. You know, you gotta keep trying, basically.
How it was for you in the beginning? Do you see yourself as a kid, like a gifted kid that things were easy, or you had to struggle and learn and
for
read?
For me, all of it was. I don't know about you, but probably him. He came out just like the bass was born with him. You know, but I don't know. But for me, you know, we had to work hard at it, right, and still do.
For me, it was a little bit different.
Microphone.
For me, it was a little bit different because I was trained in classical piano, so the guitar was my fun instrument.
I see.
It was not where the teacher comes on Saturday and God forbid you didn't memorize your Rachmaninoff. And I was a little kid, and Germans can be very strict about musical education. It's like, it's a subject in school. In elementary school, you have music. If you're not good in music, you have a problem.
Oh, yeah?
You better be good in literature or math. So it's taken very seriously and a little bit strict. So I really enjoyed when I came to America, because America is much looser than Germany. It's much, it just seems not so serious all the time. So it's it just fits in with my relationship to my guitar. It was like not so serious.
But you got serious about it because you play a lot of stuff that's very difficult.
Well, I got serious about it, and I have to like sort of, I had to apologize to the piano because actually the piano has a definite advantage over the guitar. There's only one place on
For
the
that
piano
very note,
where
yes.
you can do everything.
Okay.
On the guitar, there's at least 3.
Yeah, you're right.
And
No,
that-
it's more like 100
For the same notes, you
for
said.
the exact same notes. It's a maze. It's
you know,
completely.
the guitar is like a funny friend, like a person you meet, and you're like, oh, this person is easy, and then you discover, maybe not so
Yeah.
easy. Maybe like some hidden
Yeah.
things.
What about that relation about having fun with an instrument and having a painful relationship with the instrument? Like for classical musicians, many times it's a painful process. You know, fun comes, I don't know when. Right?
I'm philosophically opposed to that.
Okay.
In general,
Okay.
I think fun is
Should be all
has
the
to
time.
be an ingredient in everything. Otherwise, only half the person is applying itself.
But I think a lot of classical musicians get there after if they work their ass off and they feel confident in a repertoire, right? They have a repertoire, certain things. Of course, there's the challenge of playing it perfectly, but some are just. I know some guys that classical musicians that have a ball. They love it. They get into it and they know it well enough. It's total joyful.